Salam everyone. Today we will be looking for an overview of intercultural communication in detail, intergender relationship in Malaysia. We will discuss domestic violence in a marriage housework between husband and wife. Domestic violence is abusive behavior in which one individual gains power over another individual. It includes sexual or physical violence, physiological aggression and stalking. For example, we use a Malaysian film La Luna directed by M. Raihan Halim. Some part of this story portray domestic violence of men against women. In this film, the setting which rests at Kampung Beras Basah have a traditional practice of patriarchy by which male dominates over women. Yam, a villager, was abused by her husband Paat until she suffered a great deal. The challenge in this film to overcome stereotype and explore social pressures and domestic violence. It highlights prejudice and stereotypes between different gender groups in Malaysia. In this video, we will go deeper into two concepts that resulted in domestic violence, which is gender categorization and gender stereotypes. What is meant by gender categorization? Gender categorization refers to define as a social of norms, behaviors and roles that varies between societies and also identify as physical sex. Gender is often categorized as male and female. Secondly, what is gender stereotypes? Gender stereotypes is a generalized view about attributes or characteristics or the roles that performed by women and men. However, a gender stereotype is harmful when it limits women's and men's capacity to develop their personal ability.
Okay, the first concept is social categorization of gender. Follow me. Traditionally, gender roles often reinforce male dominance and female submission, creating power imbalances. Before we go further, let's ask someone what he knows about this issue. Okay. Brother, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Aiman and I'm an NCOM student.
Okay, I have a question for you. Okay, why do you think in our society there's many male-dominated domestic violence?
So I think in our society there's multiple cases of male-dominated domestic violence because as we can all see, us men are easily aggravated and as men ourselves we have more power compared to those of women, which is based on strength and everything. So I think that would be why domestic violence cases are mostly related to men to overpower the women.
And do you think there's any significance of our tradition toward this case?
Oh, traditions as in practices.
Yes.
Okay, so I think there's this adat in which where the father we can only eat when the father sits down at the table. I don't know if that is practiced in all households, but in my household it's practiced like that.
Thank you very much, brother.
Alright.
Okay, you may continue.
Alright.
Okay, so that's all from me. That's you. Okay, so these are what may be the cause of domestic violence when the husband believes it is their role to be the one in control of his wife. According to Wood 2015, men tend to prioritize instrumental and competitive communication styles due to masculine socialization. In many cultures, including Malaysia, men are socially categorized as strong, aggressive, dominant, while women are seen as nurturing and passive.
You ungrateful wench!
You listen here, bitch. I am your husband. I'm the head of the family. I have full control over you. You are nothing without me.
Sorry, forgive me, please forgive me.
What you mean sorry?
Sorry.
In the film La Luna, this concept is shown in scene where Paat used violence as a way to dominate his wife. Shaped by societal experience, expectation of man roles, Paat take this belief to an extreme, using abuse to demonstrate control. There are also many credible real cases in Malaysia, such as Hafiz Roshdi case, Alif Aziz, and Bella Astila case, and Awi and Rosana Misbun. Gender categorization here normalize such controlling behavior, causing people to dismiss it as abuse. As a result, this will lead to many impacts. The controlling behaviors by men can prevent women from recognizing and addressing abusive behavior, whereby can cause significant mental health issues such as stress, anxiety, and depression. This social categorization also can create barriers for women seeking help. They may feel ashamed or fear not being believed, making it harder for them to reach out for support.
Moving on to the next concept, gender stereotyping occurs when our minds simplify and categorize our experiences with different genders. These stereotypes can be harmful, especially in cases of domestic violence.
Kita semua tak patut masuk campur kecuali
apa? Kecuali sampai isteri tu kena pukul sampai mati. Macam tu. Dia ni ubut yang dengan parang dia. Kenapa dia ada kat sini lagi? Kenapa dia tak masuk dalam terus?
dalam kampung kita memberi seorang suami hak menjaga tata tertib isteri dia dengan apa cara.
In this scene, Tok Hassan's views reflect negative stereotypes that often perpetuate domestic violence. Tok Hassan's insistence on Yam's obedience to her husband shows a negative stereotype that women should be submissive in all circumstances, even in abusive situations. This mindset often makes women reluctant to seek help. Some common negative stereotypes are that a wife must obey her husband, women seen as emotional and weak, or that being a good mother or wife means keeping the family together at all costs, in which this issue is more prevalent in patriarchal society. According to a study by Public Health, who has a number of useful publications and research that discuss current attitudes around violence against women, violence-supportive attitudes such as adhering to these stereotypes are used to justify violence against women. As a result, not only does this presumption worsen the abuse, it also creates a barrier for women to escape abusive situations.
So one of the impacts of negative stereotype is normalization of abuse. According to Encourage and Gregor International, some society, especially patriarchal society, tend to accept and justify men's abusive behavior as a way of solving problems and disciplining their partner. This societal acceptance can lead to higher rates of domestic violence as individuals may feel justified in exerting control and aggression. Labeling women as overly emotional and dramatic can make them afraid to speak about their experience. For others, we see them as exaggerating. This harmful stereotype will invalidate their feeling and discourage them from seeking help as they are worried their concern will be dismissed or judged. Lastly, constantly being stereotyped as weak can make women feel powerless and lead to lower self-esteem. Women may internalize these stereotypes, feeling that asking for help or support will only confirm their perceived weakness. This emotional tool can deepen the feeling of helplessness and isolation, often trapping them in abusive relationships longer.
So, what do you think about the videos? In conclusion, women often face abuse in relationship due to the influence of social categorization and gender stereotyping. Society tends to categorize women as nurturing, passive, and dependent, while men are seen as dominant and controlling. These stereotypes contribute to unequal power dynamics where women are expected to accept submissive roles and may be more vulnerable to abuse. Additionally, social categorization can lead to belief that certain behaviors, like male aggression, are natural or acceptable. This reinforces the idea that abuse is a private issue, making it harder for women to seek help or for society. To address the problem effectively, challenging this stereotype is essential to breaking the cycle of abuse and help women in need.